AFC North if that were to come to fruition. But we're going to keep this thing moving right along, y'all. The public saga continues between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons as the team has not gotten any closer to reaching a new contract since Micah requested a trade on August 1st. Yesterday, SA, you had some interesting comments on how this standoff feels a little different.
I don't view this as the same old, same old. I view everything else that he did with other players as legitimate, bona fide contract disputes. Despite Jerry's mishandling of them, one would argue, because of how late he waits to get them signed. This is different. This businessman is acting like a conversation with a 25, 26-year-old linebacker was a negotiation. I don't understand how we can sit here and be comfortable with what is transpiring.
We go to our former front office exec first for perspective on this one. Will Jerry Jones be able to recover from the way that this negotiation is playing out?
Absolutely. So just suspend your imagination. There were times that people actually didn't like me at certain points.
No way.
I know. Just go.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I would disagree. He paid me very well.
What, he's like the happy kid and everybody else is over here?
There we go.
My two kids certainly could weigh in on this topic. But anyway, look, they can be really hard sometimes. Long, drag-out negotiations. I had some on national TV. But when they pay him $42, $43 million a year, which is a no-brainer and should have been done literally a year ago, it all goes away. Because now it's about, hey, can we get to the title? Can we win with Dak Prescott and the window being open? So, to me, as ugly and this is really unnecessary. There are hard decisions. We could have a great discussion about, is Terry McLaurin worth it at 30? This guy is a great player in his prime, absolute no-brainer. But when this gets done, and I have been there, guys, everything gets smoothed over.
I disagree, respectfully, because I think that this is not, again, I'm being repetitive here, but it's necessary. It's not about the contract dispute. It's about the nuances that come with it. Micah Parsons was 25 years old at the time. He is now 26, turned 26 May 26th, okay? He's a 25-year-old elite defensive player in the NFL in the face of the Dallas Cowboys franchise for all intents and purposes. And you refuse to talk to his agent, who is considered one of the best in the business. This is not an amateur. This is not a player that went and got one of his boys and said, you know what, come represent me, that has no negotiating experience whatsoever. David Mulligetta is one of the best agents in football, universally recognized. And the owner refused to talk to him. And you're saying that a conversation or conversations that you had with a 25-year-old at the time talking about his future is tantamount to a negotiation. As I articulated yesterday, I think we all recognize that, you know, I kind of know how to make a little money. Just a little bit. I know how to make a little money.
That's not breaking news either.
Okay. I might have an idea how to negotiate. That ain't happening without my representation. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk to me about my aspirations in terms of what I want to do. Fine. You start talking dollars and cents, and you start talking the particulars about what my life is going to be like. Oh, you got to holler at Mark Shapiro and John Rose. You got to holler at them. You ain't coming to me because they are the ones who negotiate. I'm in my 50s, and I know that. You're talking to a 25-year-old. Come on now. This is a franchise that has elevated since their last Super Bowl appearance, 1996. Jerry Jones has increased the value of the Dallas Cowboys franchise by $9.4 billion. They are worth over $12.8 billion. This man prides himself on being an elite businessman. And you gonna talk to a kid? Because for all intents and purposes, that's what he is. In terms of negotiating, at the negotiating table, he's a baby. What are you doing? You're taking advantage of it. And for that to happen so flagrantly, for you to refuse to talk to his representation, for you to sit up there and say, I thought we had an agreement, that's egregious. Listen, Jerry Jones has done a lot for a lot of brothers. He really, really has. If you go to the Star and you just see former players, and I can't say enough. I love Jerry Jones. I really do. But I'm ashamed of him with this. This is uncalled for. If you talking to his agent, and this is where y'all are, we just talking about a negotiation. This is deeper than that. You're trying to take advantage. The man is not representing himself. He has representation. This is so deep to me. I'm wondering why we haven't heard from the Players Association. I'm wondering why we haven't heard from the league office about this. Wait a minute. What do you mean you refuse to talk to his agent? What's that about? I know he's under contract, but if you're willing to re-up him, that involves a negotiation. You got to talk to his representation.
What do you get in here? Because you're on to something, SA, and I'm glad you said it because it's getting real funky.
I will say, listen, I agree with a lot of things that you just said about the whole situation between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. Absolutely, he knows, the whole fact that you're trying to bypass the agent and just do this whole 1980s type, handshake deal. Mm-hmm. Like you're very out of pocket for that. That's just, it's uncalled for. But I will say this, I've seen it time and time again with a lot of athletes where they've had what we call toxic relationships between player and owner or player in front office, and all it takes is just a new contract. Throwing some real money at a guy, and things get resolved. Hold on, let me say this,
please.
Because at the end of the day, you don't have to love a person in order to work with them. You really don't. You don't have to. You don't have to love a person to work with them. As long as there's some type of mutual respect, and the dollars make sense. You'll find a way to make it work.
Hold it. I'm not talking about Micah. Micah is the subject, but the bigger picture is what you're trying to get away with. We live in an age. The peeps are different these days.
Yeah,
it's a different day. It's a different age. And when you have people, remember how we threw out you saw players throw out words like a plantation, this, that. Talk about the National Football League, and we're like, well, pump the brakes. Now it's a bit extreme. Now don't go that far.
Right.
But when stuff like this happens, it gives the veneer, the facade of something entirely different, which is a very, very dangerous thing for Jerry Jones to be associated with. It's uncalled for. If you talk to his agent, we're not having this discussion. It's a simple contract dispute. But because you're not talking to his agent, it alludes to something different, which is going to raise the ire of a lot of people. It's not good. It's not good for Jerry. It's not good for the Cowboys. It's not good for the NFL for it to be handled like this.
Yeah, Stephen A., I totally understand what you're saying, and everything he's doing is certainly insidious. But again, going back to the question, once you solve the problem, we know the headlines, Micah Parsons, highest paid player in the history of the NFL outside of quarterbacks. And once that happens, I think people will move on, and he'll say that I paid Dak, and I paid CeeDee, and I paid Zeke, and I paid Micah. And stylistically, what he's doing, I agree with everything he said. But I do, and again, I've been there. I've been in all-out wars.
So, Mike T, hold on. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being this is going to get done, how confident are we that that's how it's going to play out?
Yeah, that's totally fair, Monica. I would have said 3 weeks ago it's a 10, but I'm probably at an 8 at this point. He's too good of a player. And to Stephen A's point about the value of the franchise, Jerry Jones is not going to let a star in his prime leave that building.
I will say this. The one thing we can say about, one thing that's different about this situation, Micah doesn't come off as a corporate type guy. Dak is a corporate type guy.
That's right.
CeeDee Lamb seems like a corporate type
Excellent
guy.
point.
That's a great point.
Micah much less than Dak.
Right. Micah seems like the type of guy that I'm going to do me, and if you don't like it, then so be it. And I think, honestly, that's what ticks off Jerry Jones more than anything.
But no. I interviewed Micah Parsons on my YouTube show last year. He said on the air, on the record, he wants to stay with Dallas. He wants to sign with Dallas. He wants to sign early, even if it's for less. That's what he said.